All right, what's going on, everybody? Big Slam back with another video for you about your Dallas Cowboys, and you know where we're going today. All right, we're going to be talking about Tony Romo breaking a bone in his back, out 6 to 10 weeks, gets hit awkwardly from behind on the third snap of the preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks, and it was just awkward. Another awkward, weird thing that happened to Romo that hurts him. This guy, I don't know how much longer he has left in this league. I really don't. I'm starting to think that, I said 3 seasons in my last video, I think. I'm thinking it's under 2, honestly. I'm really starting to think that this guy, I don't know how much more his body can take in this league. He gets hit, he gets hurt constantly. Now maybe last year was just 2 freak injuries. Obviously broke the collarbone week 2 against the Eagles, and then comes back early and gets one, not a massive hit, but just a big dude hit him, lands on top of him, and the collarbone goes again. So maybe it was freak things. Maybe it's freak things, or maybe Tony's just getting old. His body's getting old, and it's not responding well from these hits. So I don't know. So let's get into, can Dak win some games in this league? I think Dak can absolutely win games in this league. All we have to do is change our offense a little bit to a lot of bootlegs and run-pass options, things that Romo really can't do. I think Romo can still run a bootleg, but there's no run-pass option for Tony Romo in that playbook. That I can guarantee you, okay? But Dak Prescott can run for first downs here. He's not going to make it through the whole progression of all of his options out on the field when he's throwing the ball, but that's okay. You don't need Dak Prescott to do that. All right, get through 1, 2, maybe a third progression, and then, all right, if it's not there, tuck it and run, or throw it away, whatever you got to do. It's going to remind me a lot of when Ben Roethlisberger came into this league, and maybe you guys are a little young, some of you that don't remember when Ben Roethlisberger was a rookie, but basically that's exactly what he did. It was 2 reads. All right, here's my number 1 receiver and my number 2 receiver, and then I'm out or throwing the ball away. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be similar to that with Dak, because these defense are going to try to confuse the hell out of him, show him a lot of weird looks, different blitzes, things like that. And Steve Spagnuolo from the Giants, the defensive coordinator, he's going to make it try to make it tough on Dak, because what they're going to do is dare Dak to beat him, and that means they're going to put 8 in the box to try to stop Zeke. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But I really think Dak can win in this league. Now let's talk about if Tony Romo comes back and Dak's like 4-0, 5-0. What does Jason Garrett do? What do you do at that point? I don't know, man. I think you got to go back to Romo, man. I would. Maybe I'm just a fanboy of Tony Romo. Look, I love me some Tony Romo, all right? I want this guy to win a Super Bowl so bad, but obviously I want the team to win. You know what I mean? And you always root for the star, never really the player, if you get what I'm saying. Of course, you have your favorite players and things like that, but it's always the star. It's always the next guy that you root for. It should never be about one player, but him, man, with all the shit he's taken over the years, I really want one to win a goddamn Super Bowl and stick his middle finger up to all the media and everybody that said he couldn't do it. That's what I really want to see. Now, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I personally think that if we're 4-0, 5-0 when Romo comes back off this injury, that you should put Romo back in. That's just my feeling right now. I just a gut feel. Just put, and maybe I'm dead wrong. And maybe you don't want to mess anything up with it. Maybe you keep Dak in and Tony Romo's the backup. I don't know. It's going to be a weird situation depending on how it plays out. Now, what are the odds of it playing out that Dak goes out there and wins 4 or 5 ball games? I have no idea. No clue. But this season just got a whole lot more interesting, and Dak could literally steal Tony Romo's job. Because if he's 5-0, how do you go back to him, even though I said I would want him back? If you're Jason Garrett, that's something that you're going to have to think about if it happens. If it happens. Now, if Dak keeps us afloat, obviously, you just go back to Tony Romo, and Dak can go back to being the number 2 quarterback. So that's just some thoughts that I had running through my head. And the other thing I want to talk about is Jason Garrett better win without Tony Romo this year, because he got a free ride last year, and no excuses, and he's not going to use it as an excuse, but not having Tony Romo really hurt this team last year, obviously. All right, that goes without saying, but I said it anyway. But he needs to win. He has to win. there's no free rides this year, because if Garrett doesn't get in the playoffs this year, you know, he might be on the chopping block. You know what I mean? So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section about Tony, Dak, Jason Garrett. I'll love to know it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one once the season starts. Later, guys. Peace.